Like what, though? Sorry, I may be misunderstanding. I understand what you're saying about the cure, but what does it seem similar to?
Uh, I don't know, like some kind of neurotoxin.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just from what I've seen from people, and I don't know. It's there's been some things here and there that make it seem as though there's some sort of connection. Um, yeah, I and then there's the whole. I guess I'm just trying to think at this point of what else I might have information wise that you don't already know. I'm sure you know most of things. Craig
I
died
mean,
because he had a deal.
he's
I'm
a,
sure
he's a,
that's
he's a, wait, Craig?
no Fred,
Oh,
Frederick White,
yes.
Freg.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, and you know about his deal and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's a, I guess, bullet dodged or something. Um,
But I
I'm
mean, he's
sure.
dead,
Yeah,
so I don't think he dodged any bullets.
well, the rest of us did. Apparently, there was a list of 6 people that he had to kill as part of the deal.
You think
I
you were
think
on
he
that
only
list?
got like 3. I could have been. I don't know. Um, I don't think so because I think it was the people on the list were people that Norman has some sort of distaste for, and I don't think that Norman has a distaste for me, especially considering that he wants me to text him or something. Um,
Okay.
but I know Bobby Beldrum was on that list. I know Oshira was meant to be, but uh, Craig made his deal to protect her, and so Sooty was on the list instead.
Fred made his deal to protect Oshira?
Freg made so originally Benicio Delgado made a deal because he was forced into it. It was like Norman had a knife to someone's throat. I'll kill them if you don't make a deal. So he said, "Okay, I'll make the deal." They were going to cover the like the specifics of the deal the next day. But Freg, in an effort to preempt that and protect Benny, um, went to Norman directly and said, "I will make a deal to kind of override Benny's deal, and I will give you the caveats." He thought he could outsmart Norman Bones. He's been saying this since the start that he thinks, oh, people don't, they don't understand that you have to make deals where you put everything in words so that he can't trick you and stuff like that. Whatever. He was an idiot. Um, may he rest in peace or something. He made the deal so that he would kill people for Norman Bones, but he would not have to kill. There were 3 names. Benicio Delgado would be protected, Oshira Petros, and Alice Omen. Notably, 2 of them are Tripas. Alice and Benny are Tripas with Freg. Bobby Belgium was also Tripas, didn't put him on the list, and so Bobby ended up one of the people that they had to kill. So Freg and Benicio, after going after Sooty, they went after Bobby. Um, Bobby got away from them. I still don't know how Freg died, but he, I think, no, I do actually. Bobby told me. Bobby was gonna go kill him, but Norman got to him first. I guess he didn't fulfill the deal. Maybe there was a deadline.
Hmm.
Uh, but Bobby said that he would have killed Freg because his life was in danger. Uh, Freg was actively hunting him, and so Bobby felt that he had no choice but to go after him first. But then he said that Norman got to him sooner. So I don't know what the case is now with Benny, if Benny's deal is still on. Um, but yeah, I don't know why Oshira was one of the ones protected. I don't know if Freg and
Me neither.
Oshira had something going on. But I did see, like I said, I happened upon what must have been a pre-planned meeting between Oshira and Pestilence. McNulty was there too.
When was this?
Um, this was the day after Sooty got stabbed. So before Frank died. I thought that maybe it was related to Sooty getting stabbed because when she got stabbed, she got sick. And since she is Oshira's sister, it seemed plausible to me that Oshira might have been trying to talk to Pestilence to get her unsick.
It's Sooty. What?
Sooty Gamwich? Or Boom Boom the Clown? She has blue hair, she's Oshira's sister. She never had any part in this, but I think that because Norman wanted to hurt Oshira but couldn't because of the specifications of the deal, he went after her sister instead. And it was interesting that she got sick during it because that kind of goes against. I mean, if it were Norman who wanted her to get hurt, but then it would imply that Norman and Pestilence were working together on something, which doesn't seem like it fits with anything that I know of them.
Right. Okay. You
I
said
will
you
also say that, yeah.
sorry to circle back, but you said
Mm-hmm.
you smoothed over the Faces situation with somebody. Who was that?
Well, I'll tell you this, um, and I hope that it will remain. I don't want you to like go after this person because I'm sure you already know. Matthew Colby, the lifer
I see. Yeah.
who escaped,
Yeah.
he apparently he and I had a conversation about my wedding ring getting stolen and stuff like that, and apparently when Matt went back to his cell, the Faceless was waiting for him and told him, um, you know, kill her or you'll end up like AK and Cassie.
Cassie Miller.
No, Cassie Carlisle.
Oh yeah, the Cassie Miller's the Saints.
Yeah. Oh, and if that's new information too, perhaps Cassie Carlisle uh, escaped prison almost, and then or escaped or was taken from prison. There was a whole investigation, but she was shot in the back of the head about 3 days after she supposedly escaped. And I found out that that was because she had been marked by the Faceless.
Oh.
I didn't know about this until I found out about her, but I guess apparently the Faceless gives out like black cards to people that are marked and people who have failed him. And apparently, usually they mean death. Sometimes they mean, sometimes you can get, I guess, redeem yourself. Apparently, Edgar, before he died, had gotten marked a couple of times.
How did
But
you find out that Cassie was marked?
uh, that would be from Matt Colby. He was close with Tripas, with Edgar. Apparently, Cassie was withholding some information from the Faceless, and so he had her killed. I, for a while, thought that it wasn't that he had actually had her killed. I thought that he had potentially somehow brainwashed her because I had a theory that the person who stole my wedding ring was actually her under a different identity, but I don't know at this point. I think it's possible that she was just killed. Um, but yeah, they.
Okay.
Uh, I was able to convince Matt that that I didn't have access to the whatever information he wanted from me, the Faceless wanted from me, because deputy mayor. I don't know why I would.
What did
And
they want? What info?
they wanted the classified Marshall dossier on the Faceless.
Okay.
Um,
You have any idea how they
and
knew about that?
that's why I was concerned about the leak. I did let the marshals know about that concern, but uh, Matt also mentioned that the Faceless somehow uh, he somehow he knew about the conversation that Matt and I had, even though, I don't know if he's just another, just like Norman and Isaac. They're always watching, they've always got eyes everywhere. It's impossible to keep things from them. Although I guess if it's impossible to keep things from them, I don't know why they would need the classified document anyway. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people really had access to that document, so
Yeah.
not sure where that could have come from, but yeah.
You
Anyway,
still have
Matt gave me
the
my.
document?
Hmm.
You still have the dossier?
I do, yes.
Where is it?
It's in my apartment in a case with a locked with a code. No one knows the code except me.
Okay. Yeah, this is, well, some of this is new information, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
So, how's your? I know before I kind of went into hospital, your relationship with the PD wasn't doing too great.
I mean, my relationship with the police is perfectly fine. It's literally just Aaron Carter. And so I haven't really spoken much at all with LSPD. But to be honest, part of that is because it doesn't feel like anyone's really investigating much anymore. I mean, I was uh, providing as much information as I could when people were actively investigating, but now what I give information to the marshals, but uh, they don't really seem to be doing much. And then I haven't spoken much with LSPD, but BCSO has been told they can't investigate this anymore.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. I also don't know if you were made aware of the situation with me getting sick.
No.
Uh, Basically, long story short, um, Charlotte Spade was on her third strike. So Pestilence was giving her strikes each time she did something, got in the way or whatever. Uh, her two final strikes weren't her fault. She got her third strike. We were near the lighthouse, sitting by the island, like on the shore, uh, because Hope had led her to the island. She had called me saying, uh, I feel like there's flowers here. I want to pick one, but I don't want to because Pestilence won't like that. And I convinced her not to. I convinced her to leave the island, come back to shore, and I picked her up on the shore. But then, almost immediately afterwards, someone who I can't say who, um, drove up in his sports car, held us up at gunpoint, and forced Charlotte to swim to the island and pick a flower. Apparently, Pestilence had informed this person of the situation, and that's why he did it. But the moment Charlotte picked the flower, her vision disappeared. She went blind. She managed to get back to shore. Pestilence said, "This is your third strike. You're not going to survive the sickness." I did perhaps a stupid thing. I went back to Pestilence and I said, "Can I have one of her strikes?" And he said, "Okay." And he granted her mercy. And was it a stupid thing to do? Absolutely. But I would have done it for anyone. I hardly knew Charlotte at the time. We've become friends since. But I did not want to see the first casualty of this sickness. Um, when there was something I could do about it. And then uh, a couple of days later, Pestilence gave a cure to someone, I think BCSO. I believe with the intention that it go to me, although I can't be 100% certain. But yeah, I got cured, and then Pestilence came to visit me the next day. Came to my house and said that he's glad I feel better. and that was kind of that. Charlotte's still sick. A couple of other people are still sick. I don't know if you saw a bunch of Cyprus got sick like a couple days ago.
No, I didn't.
I think it's Cyprus. I don't. I know that the people who went to visit them at the hospital were Cyprus, so I just assumed that they were Cyprus. It was 3 people who apparently were hanging out in Tongva Valley, and pestilence rolled up on them. He seems to do that a lot. Apparently, I mean, he's slow rolled past me a couple of times in the past week or so. Uh, did the same to Charlotte, and apparently slow rolled Bobby Beldrum while he was having his, I guess, final face off with Benicio, where he spared his life. But yeah, so he's just going around. Um,
Okay.
and it seems like he's making people sick a little bit more indiscriminately than he has been. Um, yeah.
Okay. I I don't know really what. I know that you don't. So I said, I guess I'll give you a bit of a warning.
Mhm.
Have you seen the black muscle car with red headlights recently?
Black muscle car, red headlights. I don't think so. I mean, unless
That's
I've
good
seen
news.
I've seen Pestilence's car. I've never noticed
No.
whether it has red headlights, but the one with the I think he used to have one with Plague as the license plate, but now he has one with Doctor as the license plate. I've
Yeah.
seen both, but I have not seen red headlights. Was that?
There's an
Uh,
individual who goes by the Chicken Man. He's
Chicken Man?
probably like 6'2", 6'3", above
Goodness.
average build, but he normally wears a chicken mask on his head. He drives a black muscle car with red headlights,
Huh.
and I don't really know the best way to describe him other than he's on a similar level to the rest of them. Kind of thing
Interesting.
you can't just shoot down.
Right. So we've got what? War, pestilence, death, and chicken.
Chicken Man. Yeah.
Chicken Man. Okay. It's not what I expected for famine, but okay.
I don't think he's famine.
No, it's just Chicken Man.
He
It's
does make me
interesting.
hungry sometimes. So,
Hmm.
no, as in
Interesting.
not literally. I just I see the chicken and I get
Yeah,
hungry and I
yeah. No,
think
that
about
makes sense. It makes
KFC.
sense. Yep. Yeah.
But
No, it's Knoxville Fried Chicken's good place. Um, Weird management though.
yeah,
Okay, I mean, I will keep my eye out for. Is he like the others in the? I mean, from what I've so far seen, at least for my own interactions, it's been as long as I am respectful and no, not accusatory, not angry.
no,
They're
no, completely different.
oh,
Well, this
all
is
right.
like it's this is the best way to describe him is he's like a pit bull off the leash. Like
Oh, okay.
he's chased me
Dangerous.
down. He's rammed my car
Goodness.
off the road. I mean, he's been
Okay.
around the block. He's been around a long time, and I don't know how long.
Really.
But at the same time,
Okay.
I have a theory that Pestilence might be holding the leash.
Ah, interesting. Okay, that might make some sense. I anything on famine?
The only thing I know is that Norman's hoping that they turn up soon.
Do you do you know who? And if you know but can't tell me, that's perfectly fine. There's someone who is maybe in ICU at Sandy Medical who is causing flies to constantly be all over Sandy Medical Center, and and it's a person, and they won't tell me who it is, which makes sense, I guess, HIPAA regulation, whatever. But I heard uh, Doc Masterson and Perry talking about it. Doc was like, "Why have there always been flies flying around Sandy Medical Center?" And Perry was like, "No, it's because of you know who in that recovery room." Um, and they all both were like, "Ah," and they nodded all like knowingly. Uh, but I don't know who that is. Charlotte said that it's someone that I probably don't know, but someone who is most likely not Feynman, but is definitely related, she said. But I have no idea who it is.
I believe I know who it is, but again, that's
Okay.
not the kind of information you want to know.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine as long as you just don't think it's, Feynman, because I know there's a fly correlation.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think so. Um,
Okay.
I'm also. I'm sure you have a belief on who
Mm-hmm.
War may be. Who
Yes.
is it?
Apparently, Norman has confirmed that the Faceless is War.
Interest.
And I've seen the man. I know that it's an organization too. Um, but I imagine that he's more referring to the man, the one in the navy blue with the skull mask. And I've told you this before, but I've seen that man, go into buildings and then disappear, like, and
That's true.
yeah, and hear conversations that he definitely was not around for. So, it's he is. There's definitely the same level of, I don't know, uh, omnipotence.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just, yeah, he scares me more than the others. I think just because I, it seems to me that Norman and Pestilence both do not have, the complete destruction of humanity at their. Uh, that's not their goal. Because if it were, they could just do it. Like they could just snap their fingers,
Sure. Yeah.
we'd all be dead. And they've said it before that they're not trying to kill everyone and cause the end of the world. But war, I don't know. War seems more like he wants people, innocent civilians, to die until there's none left. But maybe I'm thinking about it all wrong. I mean, I haven't met him. But I was told basically by Matt that if he hasn't reached out to me yet, it's because he doesn't want to. And even if he wants something that he thinks I have, uh, he's not the kind of individual who's going to go to me for it. If he wanted to talk to me, he would. And the fact that he hasn't means that most likely he won't. He has his, I guess, in group of people who he maybe not trusts, but who work for him. And he works through those people. He doesn't go out of his way to talk to others like Pestilence does, for example.
Yeah. Well, I can assure you that Norman absolutely wants a bang. So I think destruction of everything is certainly on his wish list.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, is it not like, I mean, maybe, uh, at least according to his journal, it seems like his primary goal is, well, I mean, uh, he is jaded, he is angry because of, he believes his brother was, you know, dragged into the unknown by pestilence, which Again, I have a bit of a theory that that's not quite accurate. Um, but in addition to that, I know it seems like he kind of wants to find a successor.
I think maybe his plans might have changed. I think he's still on the way out.
Hmm. So he wants to
Go out with a
take
bang,
as many with him.
Wedgeworks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I also I at the risk of telling you something that is going to uh, make you distrust me for the sake of transparency and giving you more information, I will let you know that I have been trying to speak with Norman uh, somewhat passively. Uh, I've left 2 notes now at the lighthouse because I I have this theory that his brother is not quite as dead as he believes, and
Don't
I
say anything. Do not mention Dr. Smith to Norman. That is a bad
I
idea.
I know it is, but I haven't talked to him yet, but I will tell you that my 2 notes that I've left for Norman about this, neither note says my name, and neither note says what I want to tell him. It just says I have information, essentially. I want to give information in good faith. Uh, but both notes have been taken before they reached him. I found out from the person who gave me
Huh?
his phone number yesterday that he has not gotten any of my notes, and either someone is just taking notes from the lighthouse because whatever, or
What the
someone
fuck?
knows the information that that I have and doesn't want that to get to him. The only person I can think of in that case would be Pestilence, which lends credence to the theory.
Am I going crazy?
Um, but I, I mean, I know how bad it is to mention that, but I, I feel as though this is different. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and maybe I will get smited. Um, but I mean, I would want to know if it were me.
I was
And
looking at the
I'll
northern
tell you
lights.
the
The
reasoning
sky's so
for it
blue.
is, I started thinking about it when I spoke to Pestilence about it, and he told me that he wants Norman Bones
There it
dead
is.
because Death is his brother, and he wants Death back, and Norman is tainting that, and Norman is making deals, and Pestilence hates that Norman is making deals because he thinks it goes against the balance of things. And he wants Norman Bones out of his brother. It's like a parasite. But I asked him about, if Norman has some level of influence over Death, does Isaac Smith not have some level of influence over Pestilence? And Pestilence he suddenly looked a little bit almost nervous, like his eyes started flickering around, and he said, "No, Isaac's dead." Like very abruptly, Isaac's dead. There's nothing. He's got nothing on me, And then I noticed that, like right after that, his the scarring on his face started moving around, like there were worms under his skin. I don't know if that's related at all. I don't know what that means, but there's it was like there were worms under his skin. Apparently, Ember also spoke with him and noticed that at some point he started like clenching his fists weirdly as if he was trying to stop himself from doing something, or like some sort of fight was happening internally. I also find it very interesting that he has been uncharacteristically kind to Ember. And notably, Ember went to Pestilence because her fiance is dying of something that she has no idea what to do about. It's something not Pestilence related, but Joe is dying and Ember doesn't know what to do. And so she went to the person that she thought could help, which was Pestilence. And after reading Norman's journal, it occurred to me that that's exactly what happened to Dr. Isaac. His wife, you know, was dying of something and he couldn't figure out how to fix it. And that's there's some sort of familiarity that he must feel, I think, because he has shown such kindness to Ember. He gave her a token. No one else has received a token from him. He
And a token.
it was I think it was just a sewer penny, but he gave her one, and the next day when he came to me, this was after I got cured and Pestilence came to speak with me. He was flipping a coin, the same kind of coin, like a sewer token. He was just flipping it in his hand. And so I know I don't know if there's something with the tokens, but I Ember's the only one who's gotten one from him. Um,
Interesting.
I I don't know if there's any relevance to it, but it just seems like I don't know. He has been very helpful to her and uh, has I don't know shown some odd level of kindness where Ember trusts him. She calls him like the old man, and she goes to him for things. I don't really know, um, but that sort of made me feel like there's a little bit of Isaac left. Um, yeah.
When I spoke to him the other day, he seems to be implying that his role is not only to cause us pain and suffering in an attempt to remind us that we're alive, but
How
also
kind
to
of him. No sarcasm.
but also to make sure that we persist. I think he has
Yes.
some fucked up idea that if we suffer and we feel pain, then we get stronger and we go on.
What he told me the first time I ever spoke with Pestilence, when he called me on the phone, um, he explained to me that, and I guess it kind of makes sense to me, that illness causes advancement. We, not necessarily the pain of it and the suffering, but when, scientific advancement is created of necessity. And if there is no necessity, then we do not advance. Maybe, you know, medicine in San Andreas is so fantastic that perhaps there is no need for research. And then suddenly we've got an illness that we cannot figure out how to fix. And notably, uh, Perry aside, and Perry's situation is a little different because apparently she called him a mad scientist or something, but the doctors haven't gotten sick. Neither have EMS. Um, they're researching this. They're very close to it. They encounter a lot of people. They're not in hazmat. But Dr. Legs told me is that Pestilence even told him he doesn't want Dr. Legs to get sick because he has a role to play, and someone needs to play that role. Someone needs to be researching this. I think that that's perhaps what an impartial Pestilence would be doing. I don't think that Pestilence is impartial in the same way that I don't think Norman Bones is impartial. Perhaps death itself is impartial, but Norman has corrupted that to some extent, and maybe the same is true of Pestilence. I mean, the fact that he has even shown himself to us implies that there is some imbalance going on. Otherwise, we would just simply continue to have disease and have no face or name to put to it. But from what he is, a plague is just what begets advancement, and it's not just. He talks about not just biological plagues like illnesses and viruses, but plagues of hysteria, plagues of misinformation, plagues of hatred and violence, things that are contagious person to person. Um, he is responsible for all of those. Notably, he told me that he does not bother himself with love because it does not spread easily enough.
Interesting. Well, listen, I think we'll catch up again soon, but I think notably,
Yeah.
if your plan is to talk to Norman about Isaac, I warn you that 7-8 years ago, when we brought Isaac into this by talking about him, half my body died from necrosis, and so did I nearly.
Goodness.
So
I'm glad you made it. I'm
be careful.
I'm going to be very careful about what I say. I mean, I imagine I will start with, if there's information, would you like to hear it? It's not, I'm not trying to convince him of anything. I'm not trying to tell him. I just, I just feel as though if it were me, I would want to know. I will be careful as I can be. Um, but yeah, I appreciate that. I want to help as much as I can with this, and I hope that, I'm glad you're still working on all of this because the amount of nothing that was happening for a while there made me feel like, and I know that perhaps this is a silly thing to think. I'm just me. I'm not a marshal. I'm not an investigator, but it felt like if if I continued to learn things and know that no one was doing anything about it, then I would have to, I guess, go on my own investigation because it seems like the world is at stake here, and I don't know. I'm happy to leave it to the professionals when the professionals are doing it.
I understand completely.
Then again, I do hope that I have valuable insight sometimes, and if there's ever questions that you have, or if you want to just, I don't know, share a bulletin board of red strings, I'm happy to discuss.
I appreciate that, Princess.
Yep.
Good luck and Godspeed.
You as well, Dark.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
Well, she might be dead. What the fuck was on that door? Sorry, I'm very distracted. That was a very good conversation. But why? Is that why everyone was fucking crawling over that place? This place? I wonder. Well, she did say some interesting things. Let's go get to a good spot.
Shit. I'm gonna spend half my damn traffic on the Legion Fields Freeway. I ain't got time for
Sorry,
this
mate.
shit. I'm just saying, I don't want to end up peeing in my coffee cup again. I just got my box set of classic Pounders games from the 80s.
So what did she say? She said a lot, I'll be
I
honest.
just like watching those old games. It takes me back.
She said a goddamn lot. That was 3 pages of tiny notebook pages, but I got 3 pages. One interesting thing is that she thinks that Pestilence is sick, which I was like, interesting. She doesn't think Isaac's fully gone, which is a fucking risky game to... That's a risky thought to have. You fucking tell Isaac, you tell Pestilence that she thinks that Isaac's fucking alive. Good luck. The one thing that she did say was the cure being the neurotoxin is fucking... That's an interesting angle, for sure. I never thought about it like that. That is an interesting angle. Oshira being on Fred's list of people to protect is also extremely interesting. And I want to talk to Oshira very, very badly. She mentioned the meeting that she walked into with Pestilence, Oshira, and McNulty. That's another interesting one. Matthew Colby still been in contact with the Faceless is pretty crazy. And apparently Cassie was marked by the Faceless. Do we have anything on Cassidy? Yeah. Oh, Cassie, sorry. Wasn't she found dead? Where's the fucking thingy? Matthew Colby tweeted out a message. Rip my bestie, you'll be Miss Cassie. Interesting. Cassie... Surely it's not an incident report. Are there any references on here? Gemini autopsy? So she is... Oh, yes, I remember us being told about this now. Fingerprints burned off. A tattoo was removed with laser work. Holy shit. She died on the 26th of February.
Okay, the rowing machine's free. I gotta run.
Interesting. You poop? You poop it out? Really? Oh, shit. Where was this found at? Okay, this is a fucking massive report. Isn't this a murder investigation now? Flores helped apprehend Charlie Jones in a chase on March 1st. Interesting. Where was this? Okay, hold on. It was Gemini, right? Gemma. An autopsy. Is there any references to reports? Estancia Road ocean jump. Dumper. I'm quite blind. What? Maybe I am. I'm looking for it. Yeah. What have I missed it? I'm blind? Why? don't know what I've done.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hold on.
Hey,
Just
I'm
hold on.
curious,
Just shut
is
up a
that
minute.
still two-timing you with
Shut up a
that
minute, man.
hombre?
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I heard about that hombre.
Shut up a minute.
They say he's got like 4 balls, man.
Found it. Flores received a call back from a morgue employee pressed his Gemini's body. The employee
Hello,
came to the
Dr. Hernandez.
SASM
Thanks for
office
calling
to drop
back.
off one of his belongings, a blue faceless car.
I wondered if I could postpone
Hello?
the medical, until next month. Oh, the diet's going well.
Oh, it was literally just above it. My bad. My bad. Yeah, but it's blue. Is it blue? Wait, is that one different? Hold up. Checking caseboard. Checking caseboard. That's a different card. Ooh, that's a different card. That's a different card. Look at this. Wait. Look at this. That's a different card. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. Obsidian. Wait, can you see this? Hold on, it's not letting you see it. I don't know why. There we go. See it now? That's different. We've seen a black card before, but this is different now. He's updated the card! That must have been a real lapse in terrorism, you know? I had to get the fucking designer on new cards. That's interesting. New card? Uh, yeah, that's a new blue one. It almost looks like more skin tight, you know? Oh, marked individuals. See, it's only a blue card.
Yeah, he and your bitch are gonna have mutant ball-sack children.
So I guess we can also put Cassie.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday.
Did I spell her name? And then we need a red X. Rip Bozo. All right. Well, let me save that. There's people I saw that fucking Bruce is around, Charlotte's around, Aspen's around. There's too many people I want to roleplay with. But chat, we'll have to wait until either later tonight when I'm around, if I'm around, or Monday, which is when the next stream will be. Thank you all for hanging out today.
See you in a few weeks.
I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'll be back Monday. I'm going visiting family tomorrow, so I won't be here. But yeah, I thank you guys so much. Great RP as always. That sounds very. I mean, from everybody else, I suck. Goodbye.